Hello everybody, my name's Alex, the sport dietitian. If you're looking to lose weight sustainably, you're in the right place. Welcome to this week's Sustainable Weight Loss Clinic. Hope you're having a cracking day. If you're here, say hello. Give me a wave. Tell me your favorite color. Hope you're having a glorious day. Hope you're having a glorious day, guys. So again, we're here for our drop a dress size Christmas challenge. For those people who want to drop a dress size by Christmas. If you want to drop a dress, comment below, drop a dress. Hello, Terry, great to see you. Sandra, hello, good evening. If you're here and you want to drop a dress size for Christmas, comment, drop a dress size, drop a dress, drop a dress, drop a dress. Lots of you commented. Today we're going to go over diet myths and also some diets that actually damage your metabolism. I want you to know what to avoid. Jane Brooks, good to see you. Roisin, Fiona, Julie, Joe Smith, how's things? Drop a dress. Who else wants to drop a dress by Christmas? Lucy Lou, Caroline, Casey, Kathy Pierce. Good to see you, Kathy. Good to see you. Sue Cooper, hello everybody. If you have just joined our Sustainable Change program, comment below just joined SCP. Comment below just joined SCP and I'll give you a shout out and I'll give you a wave. If you've just joined, 50 of you live already. Lucy Lou is dropping a dress, so is Sue Orris, so is Narissa. Who else wants to drop a dress size for Christmas? Having goals now is important so you don't put this off for the new year. Kelly Newman, drop a dress. Lavinia, hello, good to see you. Chris Angel, drop a dress, but a new dress. Denny Phillips, good to see you. Penny Louise, just joined SCP. Can we give Penny a big warm welcome, please, guys? Jane Wright wants to drop a dress. Tina Booth as well. Joanne Gill, drop a dress. And you're in the right place. And you are in the right place. Kirsty Trenery, drop a dress. Sandra Byrne, drop a dress. Ali Lister, just joined SCP. Welcome, Ali. Let's give Ali a warm welcome, guys. Amanda Squires. Amanda, great to see you. Just joined SCP. It was lovely speaking to you last week. Alison Stein, drop a dress. Denny, drop a dress. Daryl Nightingale, dropping a short size for Christmas in Spain. Fantastic. Okay, brilliant. 57 of you live already. We're going to give everybody a few minutes just to be able to find us. 78 of you live. Hello, Jacqueline, Deborah Rogers. Hello, Lindsay Cameron, drop a dress. Tina Watterson, you're here. Great to see you, Tina. Drop a dress. Okay. 86 of you live. Hilary Varney, good to see you. Claire Crawford, good to see you, Claire. Trudy Stiles, drop a dress, drop a dress. Massive thank you, Denny Phillips, for hitting the share button. Thank you for sharing it. Okay, guys, let's get started. I've got no clothes that fit me. It's doing my head in. Thank you, Wendy. Well, you're in the right place. Jane Dorman. Been away for 3 weeks, but you're back. Good to see you. Michelle Moore, it's good to see you, Michelle. So what I recommend you do, guys, if you have struggled to join, is you might have noticed this week what we actually did is we created an event and then you could comment going. And if you hit on the event link and comment going each week, what you should see is a notification pop up saying Alex has just went live. That means it'll be easier for you to, of course, find it. Okay, so guys, diet myths that you want to avoid. Let's dive into them. Very first one. First myth. Hands up here, who has been told by someone that it's important to fast to lose weight? Who's been told to fast? Who has been told to fast to lose weight? Hands up here. Who's been told to fast in order to lose weight? Wendy Dockery, that's a great problem. Clothes are too big. Love it. Well done, Fiona. Wore trousers not worn for years, but a photograph of that will be in a circle. Deborah Rogers, Tracy. Who else has heard to fast? Okay, Sonia Skeeto. Right, let me explain. So what happens with fasting is people say you have to fast to allow your gut to rest. There's no evidence at all showcasing letting your gut rest for 10, 12, even 16 hours is in any ways correlated with sustainable weight loss or even weight loss for that fact. The reason why you might know someone who has lost weight from fasting is because if you're awake for 16 hours and you add a restriction which says you can't eat before midday, then straight away you're reducing your eating window, which can, in some cases, lead to a reduced calorie intake because you've less waking hours of food opportunities or eating opportunities. That is why some people have had some temporary success on fasting. However, and a big however here, fasting is not sustainable. It is not sustainable, and here's why. Lots of reasons. One, big one, is that when we are fasting, our body is in a catabolic state, which means we're breaking down muscle mass. So if we're breaking down muscle mass, that negatively impacts our metabolism. What that does is it means it's harder to eat food and bring in calories without storing body fat. The slower your metabolism, the easier it'll be for you to gain body fat. The faster your metabolism, the harder it will be for you to store body fat. Any of this helpful, guys? Any of this helpful? Okay, that's one of the reasons. So we will always want to ensure that we minimize the chances of our bodies going into a catabolic state. It's why here in TSD we discourage fasting. And if you're working with us on a one-to-one basis, we'll always be saying to you it's important to have something before you train in the morning, to not train fasted. Another reason why we don't support fasting, and that is because you're far more likely to get injured if you train fasted. Because if you're depleted in terms of carbohydrate, your reaction times are not going to be as fast. That means you're more likely to turn on an ankle, more likely to injure yourself, you're more likely to get hurt. There is a ferocious correlation with fasting, under eating, and injuring. And if you get injured, what happens? The weight goes back on. Of course it does. Third reason not to fast. It's not the right messages to be sending to your family. Having a family meal or having a brunch out and saying, no, thank you, I can't eat before 12 is not the right messages to be given to your kids and grandkids. And I'm sure some people might not like me saying these things, but I have to be open and I have to be honest. If I don't call a spade, it means people go around from one diet to the next. Is any of this helpful? Okay. Loads of lovely comments, guys. Thank you for taking part. Thank you for engaging in this. This is only going to be good if you guys keep commenting, and I want you to keep commenting. I want all of you to continue to comment and engage in this. This is really important to me. It's not going to be a lecture. It's going to be interactive. Of course it is. Okay. Some lady is just looking for the link right now, so I'm going to make sure I get it over to her ASAP. That she doesn't miss out. Okay, good. Something else I want to talk about, probably really ruffle some feathers here. Who else here has been told by a GP or by a friend that weight loss is not rocket science, just eat less, move more? Hands up who's been told that. Hands up who's been told just eat less and move more. Hands up. Thank you, Anita. What a lovely comment. Thank you. Good to see you, Lulu. Sonia has, Sheelene has, Roisin. Who else? Hilary Varney, Deborah Hunt, Stephanie Lilly. Anybody else been told just eat less, move more? What's really sad is I noticed a lot of women do it to other women too. I've actually noticed this, that if someone shares an amazing success story or a journey, I've actually noticed other women commenting and saying, just eat less, move more. Simple as that. No diet, no dieting required. And someone commenting that underneath, which is actually minimalizing someone's accomplishment, it doesn't help anyone. Like, you don't become, in my opinion, you don't become bigger from putting someone else down. And I want us all to comment that now. And I'm sure a lot of you live by this, but I want you to comment it just to concrete that belief and this core value. We do not become bigger by putting other people down. We do not become bigger by putting other people down. Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Judith Race, for being so open and honest. Penny, make me feel crap. Oh, they make me feel like a failure. Colby Copperbottom, good to see you, Colby. Lovely speaking to you the other day as well. Another empty saying. Jane, that's a really good point. Empty saying. Of course it is. We do not become bigger by putting other people down. Thank you for commenting, guys. We do not become bigger by putting other people down. And a massive thank you as well, by the way, to Andrea Williams for sharing this live, hitting the share button. Anita Farnworth as well. Nanette, thank you. Denny Phillips, thank you. Okay, we do not become bigger by putting other people down. And sadly, on the internet, lots of people do this and they start arguments, but remember, no one ever wins an argument on the internet. So save your breath and remember the people who put other people down, they're not the people who are in the position where you want to be. They're not the people who are achieving what you want to achieve. And I always find that's very important to remember. The people who you admire are not the people who will discourage you from your own self-development or personal development. People who you admire are people who will lift you up. And I'm very confident you know a lot of people in the inner circle who do that exact same thing. Lift everybody else up. Love that, Chris Angel. Great comment. Empowerment, exactly. So eat less, move more doesn't work in the long term. And I'm going to explain why. There's loads of reasons, but I want you to try and take note of them. Maybe take note of one that you want to remember. Take note of one that you're going to say to a friend. So eat less, moves more. Eat less, move more implies that if you just keep cutting your calories and you keep moving more, that you lose weight sustainably. That doesn't work because continuing to cut your calories means you live a life being hungry and deprived and you can't sustain that. Continue to cut your calories means you're far more likely to get injured, have poor cognitive function, not sleep well, perhaps even faint. If you're diabetic, you'll be critical in terms of your blood sugars. It also means you're more likely to have nutrient deficiencies, which means health conditions are more prevalent if you have nutrient deficiencies. Move more is not useful because it gives no direction. And not all exercises are created equal. And a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people do not know that. Eat less, move more is one of the most outdated messages on the internet in terms of sustainable weight loss. It can work temporarily for people who perhaps have got no activity, but it does not work in the long term. For example, eat less, move more does not talk about resistance training or sleep or protein content. These are three key elements of improving your metabolism, protecting it, especially if you have hormonal changes as you pass through the menopause. If we do not focus on sleep, protein, and resistance training with progressive overload, aka progressively making it more challenging, then your metabolism will not be improved. That's not improved. You won't keep the weight off. Eat less, move more does not take into account personal preferences, time budget, dependence. A lot of you, I know loads of you here have got parents you have to care for, or kids or grandkids. Does not take into account medical history, PCOS, underactive thyroid, diabetes, ME, chronic fatigue, all very relevant in terms of building a personalized nutrition and training program. It does not take into account injury history. There's so many things that, guys, I want you to know about that. And if you have this knowledge, by the way, because I know an awful lot of you are big learners, like you become refocused, you recognize that every day is a school day. So being able to recognize this, know this information, so if someone else tries to poo-poo all of your accomplishments, you say firmly, well, actually, it's not as simple as that. So I've been studying nutrition in depth, and I know for sure and certain, eat less, move more oversimplifies the problem. It does not take into account hormonal changes, menopause, metabolism, injury history, or medical history. And if it was as simple as just eat less, move more, there wouldn't be so many people in this world struggling. And say that to someone and give them a verbal slap. Or they might say, oh, really? I never thought of that. What that will do is you'll actually help someone else. You'll help someone else by actually standing up for yourself, speaking with certainty and authority. Okay. Another diet myth I want you to avoid, cutting carbohydrates. Hands up here who has ever been told to cut carbohydrates. Hands up here. Hands up here. Good to see you, Barbara Barr. Terry, hello. Mandy Byam, hello. Loved your picture in the dress, Mandy. Look gorgeous. Thank you, Jen. Leona Hawks, good to see you. A verbal slap. And I know, guys, like, and I hope I don't rub anyone up the wrong way here, but you have to be straight talking with this, because the consequences of lying down to misinformation or lying down to self-limiting beliefs, it is critical. Like, a very common one is I hear people say things like, oh, I know how to lose weight. I've lost weight before. I can do it again. And then we trivialize the problem and we miss the wood from the trees, which is the fact that what's worked in the past sadly stops working. And for that reason, going back to things that worked in your 30s or 40s isn't necessarily going to be successful for you now. And I want you to all be aware of that. Cut carbs. Lots of people know cut carbs, cut carbs, cut carbs. Absolutely. So there's a couple of things with this. The reason some people encourage cutting carbs is because carbohydrates can lead to you storing water in your body. That means removing carbohydrates, typically standard, will make you more dehydrated. You'll be holding less water in your body. If you're holding less water, naturally, temporarily, you'll look leaner. But dehydrating yourself is not a mechanism of losing weight. Dehydrating yourself that's the equivalent of getting a knife and cutting your stomach off. Like, it's changing the scales, but is it improving your health or reducing your health risks? Of course not. Cutting carbs means you're less focused, you're less motivated, you're less energized, you're less recovered. You don't sleep as well, you're in a worse mood, you're more cranky, and that spills over to your family. Cutting carbohydrates is not the right messages to be sending to your kids or grandkids either. Of course it's not. I want this to be, it has to be, it's not a want, it has to be sustainable. And Samantha Hunt is absolutely right. Being able to ensure we have the right forms of carbohydrates in the right amounts is very, very important. A great little hack would be look at your carbohydrate intake, ask yourself what percentage of my carbohydrates are coming from vegetables and fruit. What percentage? If it's less than 50%, something should change. If you live a life where 50% of your carbohydrates are coming from vegetables and fruit, you're doing a lot right. You're doing a lot right. Okay. Right carb, move forward. So guys, a little bit of a summary so far. We've got loads more to cover, but I want you to comment something that I've said so far that kind of rings true with you, that resonates with you, that you're going to bring forward, that you're going to add to your TSD notebook, that you're going to teach to someone else. Remember, a giving hand is never empty. What are we going to take away from this so far? Massive thank you, Jennifer Fish, for sharing. Mandy Keys, thank you for sharing. Lulu Agate, hello, good to see you. I've been doing this for 5 years, guys. 5 years without fail, every Monday, 7 p.m. I'm here. And I plan on going absolutely nowhere. I love what I do. Gwen Rigg, good to see you. Anita Farnworth. So like 99% of people who we work with, like, don't work with us, don't invest with us. They utilize the free support groups we have here. 1% of people who we work with actually invest and work with us on a one-to-one basis. Our mission is to help 1 million people. We cannot do that on a one-to-one basis. We only do that when people share the group, bring their friends. And Heather Smith, so good to see you, Heather. I'm such a big fan of yours. Massive welcome to Heather, who has just joined the Elite Physique Platinum. So Anita Farmers, 50% of your carbs made up of fruit and veg. What are the right carbs? Elaine Plain, great question. So fruit and vegetables is a short answer for that, definitely. Other carbohydrate forms, try and go for whole grains, whole wheats, definitely. High fiber content will keep you fuller for longer, definitely. Cutting carbs leads to dehydration. That's what Anisha's picked up from today. What else has been picked up? 50% of carbs in fruit or veg. That's from Judith. Just moving more, eating less doesn't work. Thank you, Michelle. Lots of people commenting not to train an empty stomach. Thank you, Lisa. Anybody else not commented yet? If you haven't commented yet, say I'm here in the background taking notes. I'm here, I'm part of the family, I'm taking notes. Verbal slap resonated with me the most. I love that. I think it's important, guys. It's important. And I've had these tough conversations with my own family, so I have, of course, as well. Catabolic state when fasting. Leah Donaldson, I'm here. I love that. Having the courage to just comment, I'm here. Heather Baker, I'm here. Jackie Lowe, I'm here. Part of the fam, love it. Michelle McLaughlin, I'm here and taking notes. Michelle Day, I'm here taking it down. I love it, guys. Step forward, say hello, be recognized. You're all part of the family, you're part of the team. Something else controversial. Verena, hello, good to see you. Welcome, Verena, writing it all down. Sonia Morehouse, good to see you. Anne Salem, good to see you, Anna. Don't train an empty stomach. Mental notes, no free hands. Good to see Irene Heller. Mel Roseberry. Hello to all the newbies. Amazing. Cooking a chickpea wrap at the same time. Well done, Catherine. Well done, Cheryl Pierce. Okay. So here's one that people will not be used to hearing. Something else that I know is all over the media, and that is promoting the Zoe diet. So the Zoe diet is when people get analyzed on what their gut should and shouldn't be eating. I'm going to explain to you some problems that we have with it here in TSD. The first one is people like it because it gives a perception of a huge amount of personalization. And obviously personalization is critical for sustainable weight loss. However, there is no evidence that your gut should be able to tolerate certain foods more than others, and that removing foods or food groups because of what your gut likes leads to sustainable weight loss. There is no evidence on that whatsoever. If there are food intolerances, they need to be correctly diagnosed, okay? Not with the blood sample. Has to be done correctly with the dietitian, or you can also arrange that through with your GP, of course, as well. But sending off a sample, a stool sample or a blood sample, or doing a skin prick test does not actually showcase whether or not you can tolerate a certain food. So what happens here is we have unnecessary restriction, or we are told to eat foods that are complicated, have a huge amount of ingredients, don't taste well, and are not perhaps our usual go-to foods to pick up in the supermarket. You then find yourself going to several different places to pick up the recipes and ingredients for these complicated and complex recipes that are good for your gut. You don't sustain that because it's not family friendly. It's not built around personal preferences. Instead, it's built around the name of, if it's been taught by a doctor, it must be evidence-based. And sadly, there's a lot of doctors out there pushing things like the 800-calorie diets and fast 800 and lots of things that we know deep down are not sustainable. So the Zoe diet is going to be a fad that, again, will just pass by. Of course it will. Like intermittent fasting is starting to pass by now. And like keto, people are finally realizing that keto does so much damage in terms of our heart, the buildup of plaque in the arteries, and in terms of what it does to our gallbladder, that people are finally starting to listen. And the pills and potions you see online now, I'm hoping you're becoming less influenced by these. I'm hoping you're becoming less influenced by this. So Michelle Day, Zoe did not help me. My intolerance caused by leaving out some foods got worse. This is really important. Thank you, Michelle, for sharing that. So expensive and confusing. Yeah, so just because something sounds complex and personalized doesn't mean that it is sustainable, effective, or a long-term solution. Okay? I want all of you guys to be aware of that. Couple of years here over keto. Thank you, Tina. Thank you, Caroline Carr. Look at this. Joanne Proser, I have to have my gallbladder removed next month. See that? That's more evidence of the damages of keto. I was looking at limbo, but found TSD. Thank you, Michelle. So let's look at some wins here, guys, actually. What I want all of you to do for me now is I want you to comment a statement and a sentence that you've had someone say to you since you've been working with TSD. Since you've lost weight, Lucy Lou, thank you for the lovely, kind comment. You're very good. Oh my gosh, Rosie, crazy. Right, so tell me, what have you been told by a family member or friend from losing it? What have they said? Give me some common comments. What comments have you had from people? What supportive comments have you had? Give me a line, give me a sentence. Nessa Hubbard, you look well. I've been told you've got so much energy, Leslie Heenan. My skin looks great. You're looking alive and vibrant. You look great. You look so positive. You seem so much more positive now. Your confidence has grown. You're looking well. You look fit. Look better in myself. Wow, everyone's jumping in now. See the weight loss. I had a friend say you've lost weight, looking good. Your face has changed, looking slimmer. Never realized how much goes into it. Love it. You're looking well. Many comments. You're looking great. My friend, partner Vicky doesn't recognize me. Wow. You've changed. So much more positive things about you. Whatever you're doing, it's working. You look so much younger. Can't believe you were in the soft play area with Frankie. Deborah, I seen that photograph. I was on the phone at the time, but I'm so keen to congratulate you on that. Have you lost weight? My skin looks better. Look at all these comments, guys. You look so well. I can't actually keep up. There's so many. Lost 12 pounds after I spoke to you. Well done, Joanne. Compliments that look healthy are amazing, Joanne. You're giving it your all from Tina. More positive. I have my spark back. So, guys, if you're sitting here and you're in the background and you're struggling with your weight, you're struggling, and you want some of these things, drop us a message. Hit the link. There's a messenger link in the description, and just message sustainable weight loss, please, and we will send you over some free trainings. One thing I know for sure and certain, and that is if you're afraid you'll fail and you argue for the reasons why you can't do something, whether it's Christmas coming up or whether it's Christmas presents that you have to buy, or you haven't got time, you've been made redundant, whatever the reasons are, if you argue for your limitations, you get to keep them. But if you look at what's possible, people say, what if it doesn't work? What if it does? What if it does work? What if it does? What if it does work? What if it does work? Okay. What if it does work? This week, challenge. Here we go, guys. Hope we're ready. And by the way, we're bringing on the incredible Nanette in a few moments. Nanette, if you're here, hit on the little Zoom button link, please. And we're going to welcome you on in a moment. Okay. Healthy habits that can make a difference. Uses me as an example. Well done, Jennifer. Okay. Can I get a drum roll, please? You're training with the big guys now. Thank you, Viola Regan. Great to see you, Viola. It's been a while. Well done, Caroline Carr. Christine Cupsteak, you're here every single week without fail. Helen over Smith, good to see you. Jane Wright, Helena Morgan, Michelle Day. Here's a challenge for you. I'll mix things up. Who here is brave enough? Who here is brave enough to commit to the challenge before I name it? Who here is brave enough to commit to the challenge before I name it? And if you're brave enough, I want you to comment below, I commit anyway. Comment below, I commit anyway. If you're brave enough, comment below, I commit anyway. Here we go. Judith Race commits anyway. Love it. Sarah Williamson, look at the go-getters. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fiona. Go on then. Shireen Webster. I commit anyway. Lulu again. Look at that for confidence and bravery. Andy Wright, I'll have a go. I commit anyway. Deborah Hunt. Anisha Farnworth, not knowing. I'll commit anyway. Brave enough to commit anyway. I commit anyway. I commit anyway. Sheilene. Anne. Joanne Gill, always here every single Monday without fail. Jane Brooks as well. I'm game. I commit. Keep coming. Come on. I want 10 more people to commit before even knowing what it is. Here we go. 10 more. Sonia Morehouse is in. Good to see you, Sonia. Samantha Granger, Sandra Byrne, Nanette Kenwin, well done. Sue, Michelle Day, Pam Finch. Excellent. Brilliant. Okay, guys, today's challenge is a challenge that we have done before in the past, so you can have a sigh of relief. But I know how much this has helped so many people really experience and recognize what they've achieved. So right now, what I want everyone to do as part of their Drop a Dress Size Christmas challenge is I want all of you to send a video of yourself into the inner circle, which is going to be Drop a Dress Size Weight Loss Challenge. And I want you to video yourself carrying the weight that you've lost in a backpack, as a weight plate, in shopping bags, either up the stairs or up a hill. A video of yourself carrying the weight that you've lost. That's it. I want you to say inner circle challenge complete. Here I am carrying X number of pounds or kilograms. I can't believe I used to carry this around with me 24/7. And I want you to write that at the end of it. I can't believe I used to carry this around with me 24/7. And the reason why let me tell me. Why am I asking you guys to do this? Why am I asking this? That's it. OMG. Deborah Hunt, best of luck. What is the reason? What is the reason? Big hill, flight of stairs. Well done, Michelle. Joanne Prozer, good. Anne-Marie Evans, you know what? Don't worry. First week, you will do it though. You don't you worry, there are plenty of challenges in front of you. To see how far we have done, yes. Why else? See how far we've come. See how far we've come. Absolutely. Not just to see it, but actually to feel it. To actually feel the amount of weight that you're carrying around with yourself. And to showcase how much you've done. How much you've actually done to accomplish it. I can see Sarah Bryan is on her first week. Loads of people here are on their first week. So if you're on your first week, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to ask Anne McCaig to comment. Anne McCaig is one of our Elite Physique Platinum members. And Anne, I'm going to throw you under the bus here. I know you're watching. Anne, so many people admire you, look up to you. You've lost an inordinate amount of weight. You look literally half the person. I want you to state a challenge. Out of all the challenges that we have set here in the lives, you put yourself back, Anne, as if you were in week 1. And I want you to ask yourself right now, what challenge could we set for everyone here who's at the beginning of their journey to give them the same boost that everyone else is going to experience who's already lost the weight or lost a lot of it and are walking upstairs or hills. So Anne McCaig, I'm putting onus onto you to set the challenge right now. So guys, drum roll please. Anne is about to choose it. Hope you're still here, Anne. I'd like you to pick the challenge, comment it below. Drum roll please for Anne. Pick a challenge before that we've done. What challenge do you think could be useful to be able to help someone who's in week 1? Jane Bucks, I can now pick up my husband. Wow. What challenge, Anne? Hope Anne, she's done a runner, Tina says. She just left the call. No problem, no problem. Well, don't worry. If I don't hear from Anne in a moment, I'm going to delegate. I'm going to delegate. Drum roll. Another 10 seconds. Okay, I'm going to jump in. I'm going to set it. For everybody here who is week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, what I want you to do is I want you to put a list, bullet points, on all of the process, goals, or habits that you've changed. And I want you to go through this with a fine Tooth comb. Lucy Lou, delegate to Deborah. Deborah, Lucy's throwing you under the bus. Oh, hang on. Press ups against the kitchen worktop was my first. Emma King just jumps in. So on a video, brilliant. There we go. Anna spoke in the nick of time. Everyone who's in week 1, 2, 3, or 4, a video of themselves doing push-ups against a kitchen counter. I know you can do it. I know you can do it. And if you want to add to that, I want you to put a list of the changes that you've made to your life already. Over the last 2, 3 weeks, what are they? Is it more vegetables, more fruit? Is it more water? Is it more steps, more sleep? Is it standing up for yourself? Is it resistance training? Is it actually getting help? So many of you struggle to ask for help. Bath every night. So guys, keep an eye on these challenges. That's the challenges for these this week coming. Video of yourself up a hill or stairs carrying the weight you've lost, or if you're at the start, bullet point all of the habits you've changed, and a video of yourself doing push-ups against a windowsill or a kitchen counter. Brilliant. And can we give Nanette, please, a massive, massive warm welcome. Nanette, hello, how are you doing? Nanette, please, a massive, massive warm welcome. Nanette, hello, how are you doing?
Hello.
Nanette.
Just switched my phone off.
No problem. Great to see you, Nanette. Thank you so much for coming here. Thank you for coming in. You look as vibrant and beautiful as always. Thank you so much for hopping on. You look amazing.
Thank you.
And you're always here. You always show up. And those of you watching, Nanette is one of our greatest success stories in terms of like what you've accomplished, Nanette. Nothing short of remarkable. So there's loads of people here though are at different stages of the journey. Some people here are like 7, 8 stone, 9 stone down. Some people are a stone down. Some people are stuck in plateaus. And a lot of people haven't started yet either and are right at the beginning. So let's go right back to there first. And if you could share, Nanette, some of perhaps the worst moments you've had because of your weight.
Oh, I've had a few. One that particularly resonates was being told that I was too fat to.
Oh my God.
Yes, I won't repeat the word. It's not nice, but yes. And that was by my husband just prior to me finding out that I'd been unfaithful for over 2 years. So
I'm so sorry.
Yes, but I mean others, you know, the shame of having your seatbelt extender being brought up to you like it was an offering on the plane and it's a lovely bright color that stands out. Yes, that was mortifying every time. But thankfully, I've just come back off holiday and I didn't need an extender. I could have jumped up and cheered, I tell you.
I love that. There's a few things there I want to touch on. First of all, there's a lot of bad men out there. And when people treat others like that, it destroys self-worth. And it can lead to us consistently carrying around feelings of not feeling good enough and not being worth it. And one thing that I really believe in, and that is karma always comes around. And for people like that who behave so badly and hurt others, the more we can distance ourselves from them in life, the better. The more we can hold on to the good people out there, the better. And Nadette, I'm so proud of you for having the courage to even share that here. Like, there's so many women who can resonate with that, and the comments here are just full of love and so much love. I just want to thank you for being so open and honest. But that's not you anymore, because
definitely not.
no more seatbelt extender. And like, what made you feel we could help, first of all?
Well, at my heaviest, that was in 2022. I was actually 22 stone 8 pounds. And I basically given up. I really had. Went through some really hard times with losing family members after nursing them for many, many years through their illnesses. Went through a POVA, which is a protection of vulnerable adults, in case any of those that didn't know, because I had a patient in the forensic psychiatric hospital I worked in make an allegation that I had sexually assaulted him. He'd be so lucky, I can tell you.
Oh, God.
yeah, you know, it was a real mixture of things, and for me, COVID was just the straw that broke the camel's back, you know. So yeah, I went through some really hard times, went through terrible mental health problems. I had really bad clinical depression. I had crippling anxiety, me who'd never been anxious before in her life. And I actually had agoraphobia as well. I could not go out of the front door. I would only dash down the road to my sister because she had terminal cancer and I was helping her daughters and the nurses to look after her. And I'd even put my bins out like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning when there was no one else about. So I decided, right, this is my last chance. I need to try and sort something out. I did do some hypnotherapy, but I realized that with hypnotherapy, one of the things that you're told is, you know, you'll soon want to eat a really healthy diet. And I realized that after all the years and all the different diets that I tried, I no longer had a real idea of what was healthy and what was not. You know, cutting out carbs for keto. I even did a diet where I was just living on fruit and vegetables, and you weren't even getting the pith or anything from them. They all had to be juiced out. So it was just a liquid, and I was drinking that, you know. So yes. So yeah, you were basically my last hope. I think if I hadn't have joined this group, I think the weight would have been carried on, piling on, and yeah, I would be not many more years left on this earth, I'm sure.
Well, first of all, Annette, I'm so glad, obviously, that we have had the pleasure of working with you and meeting you. And a lot of the times we go to these measures out of desperation and out of like one more thing to try, or we know someone who's spoken highly of something and then we just give it a go. And to be fair, even if it is extremes like juice diets and these things, obviously they're not the right solution for long-term weight loss, but people are trying as well. So if you're watching this and you're beating yourself up for trying different things like Nanette has, don't, because in your defense, you're trying, you're actually doing something to change it. But there can be an expiration date where you get to a stage where you think, what's the point? Nothing works. And what made you feel that we could help?
Well, I happened to see one of these Monday clinics and I thought, do you know, that makes a lot of sense. And then I looked on the site because I always research things. and yes, so much of it made sense. And I was thinking, yeah, this is what I need. And then you basically responded to a message that I left, and I actually felt heard. That was so important to me.
Thank you for being so open about that. And I think this is one of the reasons why in TSD we're never going to get to a stage where we involve like AI and robots and that, because ultimately it's about people. And if you don't have a personal connection, how could there be trust? So there has to be trust. And what have you achieved?
I've achieved a lot. In fact, I've just this weekend I posted that I've attained my first BMI target. So yeah, so back over 2 years ago, my BMI was 52.6. When I started TSD, my BMI was 48.5. So I had managed to lose a bit of weight, but it was very slow going and very fits and starts. So I set myself, my first BMI goal is I no longer wanted to be called, in medical terms, morbidly obese.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, or class 3 obesity, they've renamed it now, but I still hate the word obese, and calling somebody morbidly obese, I really think that is fat shaming at its worst.
I completely agree with you. I completely agree with that.
Yes. So my first goal was to get down. So I was going to be classified as obese, which I made at the weekend.
Wow. And how much weight did you lose to accomplish that?
4 stone. 4
4.
stone since I joined TSD. Yeah.
How's that making you feel?
Absolutely fantastic.
Oh, just thinking about that challenge. Just said that you have now 4 stone to carry up a hill or upstairs.
Well, I've actually said I will do it, but I'm going to have problems because straight after I joined TSD, after I'd taken my before photos, I fell. And we found out later I broke my back. So I've been having a few problems with my back, and they've confirmed it now. They've done x-rays and whatever because they found the broken bones, that I've got osteoarthritis and whatever. So I'm struggling to do an awful lot of my exercises. I can do some days, other days I can't. So yes, on a good day, I might just lift up my niece and carry her. You'll have to excuse me if it's not upstairs.
No, obviously, listen to your doctor. Okay, protect the back at all costs.
Yes, but yeah. So I mean, mine has been done mostly through diet alone, and with doing exercise as and when I can do it.
Wow.
So
that just shows that in spite of what happened, you still have achieved incredible things.
I've since broke a rib as well. Both of these accidents in the garden. It's not my safe place.
I hear you. I hear you. But I suppose the way I look at it as well, imagine if that had happened when you were 4 stone heavier. Imagine if all this continued to happen when you
Well,
had.
well, it did happen when I was 4 stone heavier. It happened right when I joined.
Oh.
And I'd only just taken my photographs. I had to ring my son, and him and his fiance had to come and pick me up off the floor. It was mortifying.
You didn't quit, Nanette.
Nope. It made me even more determined.
And there's lots of people here watching this who perhaps have injuries as well and are probably as frustrated as you were or as ashamed as you were. What would you say to someone who's afraid they'll fail?
Well, it's your saying, you only fail if you quit. Don't be a quitter.
Yeah. If we don't try, we fail by default.
Yeah.
We really believe that. And what were the reservations? Like before you joined us, what were the things holding you back?
Well, when I joined, there was I was just up for it. I was so looking forward to becoming leaner and fitter. I'm still looking forward to the fitter bit. The leaner bit is happening. In fact, I'm wearing, admittingly, they're an old pair of jeans, so they were stretched out, but I'm actually wearing a pair of size 20 jeans this evening as I'm sat here.
Wow.
And I was a size 26 to 28 before.
How's that making you feel?
Fantastic. Absolutely over the moon. I am so proud of what I've achieved. And it's not been easy. It's been quite hard at times, but so worth the time and the effort that you put into it.
And the comments here, Tina, well done. Wow, yay, you've overcome so much already. I firmly believe you will achieve so much more. From Dawn, well done, Nanette. Oh my Lord, that's an amazing achievement. At 960 comments so far. Well done what you've achieved despite the massive setbacks. You should be so proud. Bet those jeans feel amazing. Proud doesn't cover it. Paula Welsh, fantastic achievement. Denny Phillips, size 20, well done. Mandy Keys, smashed it. And you have, Nanette, because you always show up. You're here every single Monday. You always show up. And if you put time into something, you are what you think about. And if you're having those inputs of people speaking to you about losing weight and you're here every Monday, no matter what, it means that you're focusing on getting better, focusing on positive change, and you're not lying down to your limitations. And no one could blame you, Nanette, if you did, considering what happened, but you didn't. You're still here. You're still fighting. And you're going to achieve so much more as well, by the way. I mean, we're nowhere close to getting you to where you're going to be. I'm just so proud of you. And what has really helped you? If you had to pick 2 or 3 habits that you've managed to adapt on a daily basis that you could share as advice for someone else, what would they be?
Well, I have never really looked at protein before. I thought protein was just for bodybuilders. So
Yeah.
that's a complete and utter revelation when I found out about that, because it was never mentioned in any of the other diets that I ever did. No mention of protein at all. So protein is just blew my mind, you know. Um, well aware of fats, well aware of the calories of something, but not so much of carbs either. So I mean, yes, and you know, I did know a bit about carbs, but the protein, yeah, it's, for me that was the biggest singular piece of information that anybody could have given me. I tell you.
And it's so simple. But if we add protein to every meal, we're more satiated. There's a thermogenic effect of protein, which means it takes more calories to actually break it down and digest it. And it allows you to hold on to the muscle mass that you have in your frame, which means your metabolism will be faster. So that's a simple change, but a very important one. And what would you say to someone who struggles to put themselves first? People who perhaps prioritize, I don't know, kids in college or house renovations over themselves. What would you say to someone who struggles with that?
Well, I'm guilty of it. I did it for most of my life. Um, so I know it's hard, but if you don't make time for you, nobody else is going to.
Yeah, that's so true. Because if we wait for someone else to put us first, we'll be waiting a long time. Because a lot of people are blissfully unaware.
Yeah.
And people start to take it, not take advantage, but even assume, oh, you'll do it, or that person will sort it.
I'd even say take advantage around you. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. In some
Yeah.
cases. And this is why it's so important to carve out that time for you. And again, as I've said before, 3 hours a week out of your 168 hours that are in the week is only 1.7% of your week. And everyone deserves at least that to themselves. And what would you say to someone who's on the fence, who is scared and afraid of failing?
Well, if you're not prepared to fail, if you're not prepared to try, you've failed by default.
Yeah.
So what have you got to lose?
And they're brilliant words. And I've said this to my wife as well, actually. Every single decision that we've made since we met each other, we've always made it before we were ready. Everything. Like, I know I'm not talking about weight now, but I mean everything. Like, if there's a hint of us not being happy in something, we'll change it immediately. Like, I certainly don't tell her this. Proposed before I was ready, probably got married before I was ready, became a dad before I was ready. But every single one of those decisions were the best thing that's ever happened to me. And I really mean that because life is very short and it moves very, very quickly, and we don't always get second chances. And life can pass us by while sitting on the fence. And a lot of people know people who have worked hard all their lives and then had very, very short retirements. And Nadette, I'm so proud of you. I'm just so proud of you. You're beaming. You came on here, you opened up and you shared some things that are really, really tough to share, but you did it anyway. And obviously, it will help you to showcase how far you've came, but you've also helped so many others because you've showcased what's doable. You've showcased what's possible. And
Oh, and I'm a long way from finished. My son's getting married in August next year.
yes,
I'm going to be in, at the very least, a size 16 dress, preferably a 14 or even a 12.
yeah, no, and I am so certain of that. And I want you to promise me now that you will put a photograph of yourself at your son's wedding in the inner circle and share that.
I certainly will.
Of course, you will. And you're doing it. You're really doing it. In spite of everything, you're doing it. And if it was just me and you talking here, I'd tell you the same thing, which is that you should be so, so proud of yourself.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Well, thanks to everybody for coming on. The comments are amazing, Annette. If you can, go back, have a look at them. There's only like 1,000 to go through, so it shouldn't take you too long. So it shouldn't. But so many thank yous coming through. Thank you, Nanette. Thank you for sharing your story. You're doing great, amazing, inspiring. And to everybody else here, brave enough to step forward and do something for their health and their happiness, I commend all of you. I've been there myself. And you mentioned, Annette, about not being there yet. We never arrive there because we start to enjoy the journey of getting better every single day.
I've always believed in lifelong learning. I'm still committed to it.
Absolutely. And the best thing about that is it keeps you focused, stops you getting bored, and knowing with certainty that if I keep learning, I can't go backwards. That's a very powerful place to be in. And that's why both of us are so certain of that new dress for your son's wedding. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.